Okay, I'm coming to you live, not live. I'm coming to you from my bedroom, which is different for me. It the living room, the decorators are in the process of replacing all the moldy wallpaper, um, and for about over a year, it's looked really gross on our back wall, and like right next to it, I have all of my nice framed pictures and stuff. Um, I just don't want to subject you to that. So I also realised I wanted to wear a cardigan, um, because I could then hook this microphone on it, but it's too hot, so I'm not doing that either. And then I realised, oh look, where my little vendor. There we go. My vendor lanyard. Oh, that's a good thumbnail, guys. Where to start? So, that was my lanyard. I was so giddy getting my lanyard. It feels really silly. But I've not done like a convention before where I've had like a proper I've had like a proper badge to show that I'm a vendor. So that's been cool. And this is Jam's one. We've put little like stickers and what do you call them? Like temporary tattoos that we bought from our French pals. And then got these ones. That one, the front one's a sticker, and the back one is a temporary tattoo. But I don't want to use it because I don't want it to go. So I'm just gonna keep it in there. I'll show you it properly in a sec. But yeah, this is Jam's one. She got the boring lanyard because, but she decorated it with a little pin badge. Sorry about that interruption. Oh my god, catch my breath. I ordered something a couple of days ago. I actually can't remember what it is. For some reason, it says liquid on top of it. Yeah, you can have it. All right, all right. Sticky appearance. There's obviously something that I needed straight away. Oh, I know what it is. It's for you, you stinky boy. It's it is for his stinky, stinky wee wee smell. So it's these little like reusable cartridges, and the fragrance and scent is suitable for pets. So that's why we have to get it. That's good, isn't it, Vicky boy? Let's not have my address showing, but you can have that. And it's for some reason like really awkward to get them. They don't do them at any of the supermarkets that we go to. I guess because it's a bit specific. Don't know. So, right, now that that's done with, oh my god, just had to book some annual leave. Jam and a friend and I are going to see Auntie Donna perform, I think, in Bristol. I hope it's in Bristol. I hope it's not too far away. In October. And I mean, Jam's been watching them for a lot longer than I have, but she introduced me to them, so I've been watching and absorbing their stuff for about 6+ years. Or 6 years. Yeah, that's actually one of the first things she showed me. Quite funny. Anyway, so as I was saying, I'm probably like off center where I was. Ooh, let's see. Get back into the middle. So, introvertebrate. I really struggle with the name. The introvertebrates. Their little badge. And I'm pretty sure, they have these adorable little earrings. I think they're like Casmasaurs. I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure. But I got them from them at Lyme Regis and from the Fossil Festival. And I think we were like, the first time we were speaking, we were bonding over our Wi-Fi troubles that day, the first day. And then we seemed to sort it out, and they really saved my butt, like recommending me to get like a day's worth of Wi-Fi from some provider. Do you want me to put it up? Okay. Okay. Yes. Right. Don't dox us, Becky. Oh, you can't even see anything. Cool. Okay. Right. If I have him in the back, are you more inclined to watch this video? Right. So, when we got there, we got a brochure, which we subsequently forgot to take to the quiz, so we had to steal someone's paper. And it had everything we could possibly need in it. Vendor information, the maps. There I am, and there's Buddy Nathan. It was exciting getting this. So here's the schedule that was featured on the website. Not really much else to say about it. Some nice advertisements. Already got some biscuit hair in it. The sponsors at the back. Thank you, sponsors. And then information about the guest speakers. So, yeah, really fab. Such cute illustrations. I believe they were done by Natalie or Natalia. Hold on, I might be confusing their name with someone I work for in my real life job. I think it's Natalie Jagielska. Don't quote me on that. I'll put their work like up here so that you can see, but I'm pretty sure this is by them. Like all the assets and illustrations and things. And they're so cute. Oh, they're so sweet. Right. So that's the brochure. That's the helper badge. Got mine on. I also bought a Dinocon badge just because I felt like I must. I also got the t-shirt. Not sure where I've put it. I think I'd worn it recently, so maybe it's in the wash. Oh my god. Why is this inside out? See, I've been wearing the stuff that I got, obviously. I had to get this. This is by Speed Thief, as you may know him on social media and the like. So that was fabulous. I saw that he was bringing them to Dinocon, and I could not leave without one. So once I had like gotten over the sort of hype of everything starting up, and I was, busy packing things, I went straight to the table and got one. And then I also got a matching sticker. I will show you my stickers because I've started putting them on my sewing machine. Oh, I'm so croaky. Oh my god. Yeah. So where to start? I want to start with a caveat. I am not going to go into exact money, but I would say the event was worth it from like a money standpoint. I guess it was worth what I'd put into it. I felt like. So I actually, this is the bit that I'm okay with doing, which is a breakdown of pre-convention fees. I wrote this all down, and I will pop it up on the screen because it was harder to figure out pre-convention or pre-festival fees for the Fossil Festival because my mama and dada nicely, kindly took us in their car and helped with the accommodation as well for that. And they got a lot out of the trip as well. Mum had a little operation, so she was going to do a park run, but then she didn't end up doing it. But then we also realised I think the park run is just for kids in Lyme Regis. I'm not quite sure on that either. Right, so I think I'm going to say the table fees. So I paid 150 for like mine and Jam's fee. I paid 160 for accommodation for 3 nights because we're travelling from Oxford down to Exeter. So we didn't want to have to leave literally on the evening of like Sunday, because that would just not be very fun. And we, as predicted, were exhausted. So that's 150 and 160. Obviously, I did Airbnb. The lady whose house we stayed at was very lovely. Um, much more like, I mean, I guess we've only stayed in a couple Airbnbs before, but like so generous with like setting up breakfast for us, even though we couldn't really hang around. We had to be away quick both days. Well, all 3 days really. When we arrived, the trains are having to purposefully be a bit slow between a couple of towns on the way. So on the way from Oxford to Exeter, it was going noticeably slower. And then it was a very hot day. The air conditioning on the train broke. So we stopped at a few stations and they were just like, yeah, just get out and walk around on the platform. We're just like, we just want to get to Exeter, but fine, that's fine. So they opened the windows and it was so stinky of train fuel. It was fine. And they were handing out free water anyway, so that was good of them, all things considered. So we got there. Setup was from 3, and it was optional. You didn't have to set up on the Friday, but you could. So I thought, well, since it's kind of on the way, we might as well set up before we go back to our accommodation, and then we don't have to haul my huge suitcase up into their house. We only had to do that like on the Sunday evening, so that was good. So we got there kind of like 4:30, I think. Started setting up. We had until 8, I think, that day to set up. We set up, and then we tried to figure out where to eat. At this point, we were just drenched in sweat. So, I mean, my brain takes a lot of detours. So, I will say that we didn't know Exeter was so hilly. So, if it is held there again, and I think it went so well that people were willing to travel down to Exeter for it, which was fantastic. If it's somewhere more local to us, London, maybe London, we won't have to worry as much about like getting there each day and then getting back. But we alighted at, I think it was St James Park. So there are 3 train stations that are kind of equidistant from the university walk-wise or like transport-wise. So it really didn't matter which station you got off at. It's a lovely city. We got off at St James Park. Immediately, you're faced with this huge slope that, in writing, might be suitable for like wheelchair access, but no, it was the steepest slope I've ever hauled a huge suitcase up in my life. I was like crouched behind it. It, like, if you looked down at the suitcase, you wouldn't be able to see me. I was pushing it up the hill. The boulder. I was pushing it up like the boulder. Oh my god. And then we got up that hill, and then it was more residential area hills right up to the university campus. We had to quarantine some of our clothes, I will say. That was not nice. But we got there, we got set up. I had to sort of just take a few like brain breaks. I was just kind of stood there swaying, like not knowing where I was while we were setting my stall up. But everything went swimmingly. People were really friendly considering everyone had kind of had long journeys. But our journey, I think, probably took about 6 hours, and it's only really meant to take 3.5 from Oxford to Exeter. But it took about maybe 6.5 hours. You would think we had like driven from Norwich or somewhere, because I think that's sort of the journey you would expect. But we set up, we dumped everything under the table, and we found a place to eat, and we kind of just had to go back into the centre because it's very, like, the eatery areas are very patchy when they're not just right in the centre. So we went to Franco Manca because we love a good sourdough pizza, and then we went back to our accommodation. The lady was so lovely that she was like, yeah, I don't really mind what time you arrive, just knock and we'll be there. So she was amazing. Her name was Wendy. She was lovely. I gave her 5 stars. So the train journey, we both have travel cards. Considering we're almost 30, both of us, we will not have travel cards for much longer. So we're taking advantage of them now. So the travel cards knocked about I think it said to me on the app that it knocked about £99 off of both of our return tickets to Oxford, which is kind of crazy. So we ended up paying £106.50 for 2 people return from Exeter to Oxford. So that's pretty decent. So roughly £416 pre-con expenses. This isn't including like the time and the money that I've spent on products, because I'm not quite sure on that. It's hard to gauge because a lot of stuff I'm bringing is years and years old. Yeah, so there are a few particular things that I ordered specifically for this con. I'll show you one of the things because I can't get a single one out because they sold out. So I made this sticker. Ooh, shiny. That's my ring light. It's not mine, it's Jam's. And I really tried very hard to make it fit if you'd got the Fossil Festival one. And then I got to like processing it through the sticker app website, and it was surprisingly difficult to figure out the exact measurement. I tried and it kind of fit. And also you can't like specifically use a hex code number. Hex code number. You can't select a specific one. You can't type one in their app for their background, and they want you to have like a sticker background, so that's kind of annoying. So like that one's a lot lighter and this one's like creamish ivory. Anywho, I tried. So that was the pre-convention expenses, or what I am willing to share, because recently I've been watching a lot of people's convention like artist alley vlogs, and apparently some people can get really weird about the money side of things, which like people can be weird about money anyway, but it's like you don't know anyone's financial situation down to a T, so you can shut your mouth. This wasn't as big a hit to my finances as I think Lyme Regis was, because what I made from Lyme Regis then helped push me towards the finish line to get to Dinocon in one piece. So that's really, really good. And then we got like a small pay rise just now at work. Great. It won't be happening again for a number of years, I can tell you that for now. We did not really prepare a cash float. So if you, for the uninitiated, I'm going to pause because my phone will struggle with this video. Cash float, for the uninitiated, you bring like a little box or a little pouch of cash that you use for change. It's kind of self-explanatory. If people have got like a £20 note and they want to buy something that's like tenner, you can give them a tenner back, or you can give them more specific change. So it's good to have some coinage. It's good to have some notes. Works slightly different if you're in America, because you have like $1. That's crazy to me. Crazy. Anyway, so we had like £8 in float because we did not really foresee people using cash that much. I would say if we wanted to compare prehistoric themed events, Lyme Regis, a lot more people used cash, which was very good because the Wi-Fi was like very spotty. The cash taken made up about a sixth, roughly, of my total cash taken. Oh, I can't see if I've put it down for Lyme Regis, like the sort of ratio. Let's have a little look. Valley of things sold over June at Fossil Festival. That's not quite what I'm after. Okay, so about a third, I would say, from each day. So maybe very similar, but I definitely noticed more of a disparity. So people using card a lot more versus cash. We kind of had it easy at the beginning because a lot of people had like exact change, and I don't tend to price my things like 0.99. I price my things whole number of pounds, like £5, £6, £10. And if I'm gonna do like a decimal, I'll do like £50, and that's like the extent of like my pricing style. Obviously, it goes without saying, but I will say anyway, when you do a convention, the total amount of money you make is not what you take home. You know, you have to put some aside for eventually when your business actually is eligible to pay taxes, which I think mine almost might be. I will have to do some research into that. That's like a whole other topic. I'm stressed about that, so I'm going to get Jam to help sort that out. And I'm just holding on to the money for now. And if I need to send it to the government, I shall. It is not a immediate shopping spree when you bring in a load of money from a very, very niche convention, I will say. I'm very happy with how it all turned out. In my head, I was like, okay, well, this is a paid event. So Lyme Regis was free entry. But money-wise, I did better at Dinocon. But initially I thought, and this is why I felt a little bit underprepared with my stock and things, I thought, oh, well, people have already spent money to get in, so maybe they won't be as spendy during the event. But how wrong I was. People were spending, like their life depended on it. So that was very well appreciated. I'm semi-confident in saying the take-in of money across the board, like across the vendor hall, was probably quite good, and better than what people were expecting, maybe, because it's a continuation of Tetsucon, which I think has been running for over 10 years. I'm not entirely sure, but it's a continuation and a sort of variation on a theme. And Dinocon is a lot more generalized for Dino and family audiences. This is the first of its kind, first ever Dinocon, which is why I put it on the sticker. Such a crazy turnout for the first event. Usually I think Tetsucon was held in London, so we're, much, I want to say remote, but it's a city, but it is not the city, it's not the capital. Much more remote than, say, the Tetsucon was. The first day, I think I did better than the second. The second day, I think the attendance was higher, but there are a lot more talks back to back, and like some very popular people speaking, and some really big book signings as well. So that probably impacted the flow of people, but that was fine because we were exhausted from the first day. I can safely say that everyone was exhausted from the first day, and we had such a good time, but it was very like physically and emotionally taxing, I think, because it was quite overwhelming, really. We didn't expect one to be taking two transactions or attempting to at the same time. It was that hectic at one point. It's like we couldn't go fast enough, and annoyingly, like we didn't. So we have a three for a certain amount deal, but like we'll save it as like I can't show you because it's on my phone, but we have like a 3 for 15 print deal. And instead of like inputting those 3 particular prints that the person has picked up, we will just press a 3 for 15 and it's saved as its own product type. And we weren't always noting it down, like which print someone had gone for, because it was hectic and we couldn't go fast enough. It was going too fast. So it was a good problem to have. What else? I finally got to meet Hilary and Nathan and Joachim for the first time. I've sort of been friends with them online for, I want to say, since 2020, when I was sort of inducted into a illustration and paleontology based paleo group. You may know our work from the Paleo Zoo, Artemis Paleo Zoo, but like I know them from this sort of group of people, and a lot of them, annoyingly, are America. No, they're like abroad, so I can't just go and meet them on a daily basis. So it was really amazing to finally meet just a small amount of people, but some people from the group finally. And they were lovely because I already know them, obviously. It was just, yeah, I can't speak highly enough of them. They were so helpful. So we were struggling a bit with the transport, I think, because I was quite pleased with the accommodation, but it was a little bit out of the way. So on Sunday, especially transport on a Sunday is not amazing. It's very infrequent. Nathan gave us a lift to the campus, which was really lovely. I think next time I will consider staying like on site. I think there was an option to stay in like student accommodation that had been vacated for the summer, that kind of thing. I didn't know that was an option, and I'd already like gone and booked my accommodation because I didn't want to be like behind in anything. I didn't want to leave anything up to chance. I think next time I'll do that, because I think if I were to work it all out, the travel costs during the weekend probably built up to be the same thing. And if we could just walk to the front doors like every day and just have like breakfast made for us, I think we'd choose that instead. I don't know. I really, really enjoyed my weekend. This is the first time I'm sat down talking about it and thinking about it. And I just feel like very, very grateful. There were like a few points where the sort of overwhelm and emotion hit me. And I was like sat in my little like dungeon under the table making blind bags. Because I've got like a little blind bag system where I'll do like 3 mini prints, a sticker, and a bookmark for like a reduced price. Because the girlies love the blind bags right now, and any blind items, that's a different thing completely. Blind boxes. I'm guilty of it. I love it. Look, there's one. We love it. I was hopping on that train a little bit, and to my surprise, they went down a treat. So I've sold them now at Lyme Regis and Dinocon. I'm gonna chill for a bit, and then I'll think about what to say next. It does work a lot better, but it means I have to hold it like this, which is a little bit annoying. It kind of defeats the purpose of having a clip. Anyway, right. Bestsellers. I will show you my bestsellers. You can come in. I'm just going to show my bestsellers. Do you have anything to say? Come and sit. Oh, pull your trousers up first. Do you have anything to say? Oh, it sounds better when I'm holding it on a pen, which is a little bit annoying. Right. Okay. Do you want to sit and maybe, oh, can you hold this? Thanks. Okay, so my first bestseller, yay, not a flop after all. So my zine, I didn't bring a whole bunch of them, but they sold out, so that was very good. This is my archival box, my special folder with all of my past and present prints in it. Then we have, where's the really good selling one? I think I've put them all in a separate section. Oh, got it. Okay. What's that? What's going on back there? I'm not, I'll hold it, don't worry. Hi. Okay. Oh, it's got biscuit hairs on it already. Is this ASMR? Oh no, it's not on. What?
I even got biscuit purrs and everything.
What the hell? Okay, it was on. The light just turned off. I don't know. I mean, out of the 3 bookmarks, I'm not sure which one did the best. But it was between these 2. This one often gets like placed back upside down because he's upside down. Oh, he's got a little bit of a bend on the corner, but that's why he's in my archive and not for sale. That's what the back looks like. It's just very simple. And then the front looks like this. I will get the original artwork and show you because it's significantly bigger, and I had to extend it with a separate piece of paper. Probably just poor measurement on my part. So that sold quite well. And then this one, of course, is the brand new bookmark. I didn't even think I was gonna make another bookmark, but I did. Come on. I'll get a separate close-up of it. Yes, that is a dinosaur sticker on here. It's because the pack came with 2 and I need to differentiate which one I've charged and which one I haven't charged. So, and then just like my name on here, it's not gonna focus, so I'm gonna show you separately. This sold pretty well too. Part of my new Celestial Saw series, and I'm quite pleased about that, and have a lot left, so don't you worry about that. Another bestseller was this sticker. We completely sold out. We literally, and I have like a timestamp of it because on the I use Square, so the Square terminal. On the Square app, it gives you like a timestamp of when each transaction was made. And I have literally like, what time did we finish on Sunday? The minute before we finished, I have transaction of this sticker, so that's quite cute to cap off the entire experience. And then the other one that sold quite well was this guy here, this hollow sticky. Ta-da, he's very cute. I really enjoyed the process of making them. So obviously when they're like the regular illustration, there's not really anything that can be hollow about it, like holographic. But I took it into Procreate and I swiped away some little fuzzy bits. Again, not focusing very well. Is it gonna focus? Nope. And then I like erased the eye so that it would come through as holographic, and then obviously the outline as well. Not the mouth though. Maybe I could do that on the next one. So that sold quite well. Obviously, like, we had a 3 for 5 sticker bundle, so it's kind of hard to tell, but I think just from how many we'd shifted, it sold quite well. The other ones that sold out but I had very low stock of to begin with were this one, come on editing phobe, put them in, this one, which is not coming back, end of an era, end of the era for that one, and then this one, which yes I will be bringing back, and I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger, and I hopefully will have it in time for the autumn market that I'm doing in September at Common Ground. I've just got confirmation that I will be at that market, so that's very exciting. Thank you very much, Common Ground, thank you very much. This, out of the 3 heteromorph ammonite prints, sold quite well. Not sure why it did better out of the 3. Personally, I like all of them. And it's not even the final amount of illustrations of these that I have. I have 2 other designs, different types of heteromorph ammonites that I've not like printed yet. I've not edited them, so I'm gonna need to get on that. And then out of the Celestial Saw Actuals, because this is kind of adjacent, it's like a similar vein of style to this. And to be fair, this is very much like Celestial style, a hint of things to come, because I did it quite early on last year. And then we've got the Triceratops, which did quite well. I love this one. I am definitely gonna do a sticker of this. I'm just figuring out whether I want to do him on his own or with some extra added little like swirls and squiggles, or a shooting star. Yeah, I don't know. I felt like he deserves a bit more pizzazz, and he'll also be like a hollow one or like a sparkly or something. Maybe I'll do a little like fan vote, see what people want. I chose to put this one in my archive because I opt for recycled uncoated card, usually like 200 or 250 GSM for my prints as like a baseline for all my prints, but you can see like some recycled paper speckles, and obviously that's just the nature of the paper, but it's like in very obvious places where it's like it doesn't completely detract from the image, because I'm a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to like having them spotless and not be interfered with by little bits. But I've kept that one for myself, and I have the original framed anyway. So this one I think did pretty good considering it's like its debut, except it's from a few years ago. So I did a series of 5 digital drawings on Procreate, centered around, I think it was the first Prehistoric Planet season. I want to say the first. But this one turned out really, really nice. I'm very pleased with it. It's of Allura Titan, and where they come up above the ridge and they escape. Spoiler alert! They escape the soot and the dirty air from where they are. Actually, no, it's not. I'm thinking of a different episode. They escape all of the nasty little mozzies and flies and things because they're eating them alive and they're swarming around them, and then they get to a high clearing and it's nice fresh air. So that's that one. I think that's one of my favorite digital drawings I've done, and that's a start to finish digital drawing, whereas these ones I like touch up digitally afterwards and give them like the smoothening, blending treatment. Most of why I do this is because these particular ones will go on fabric, so they need to be quite bold and clear. Otherwise I wouldn't go to town as much on smoothening them and blending out the colours and making sure all the colours are reading clearly. This one was another very popular one. I think we didn't run out of this one. We were very close. And then just by nature of a deal that we were doing, so in my in-person events I'll do like a spend this amount and get a free print. So this was the bonus print this time. I've sold out of the bonus print I was doing last time, and it was like it was half the size of this. It was an A6 mini print, kind of similar. It was like a Meteor, the Meteor, and if you spent like over, I think it was like £10, £15, you got it. And I've sold out of those, sold out at Lyme Regis. So this is the new one, and the original size of this image, I drew it A4 size, and you can purchase it on its own, but it was free with every purchase over £25. So we shifted a few of those as well. So that was quite popular just because of that. And then the mammoth print. I mean, I'm not very surprised by this. This is a fan favourite to everything we go to. I think it just tugs at the heartstrings of people, and when I drew this back in 2020, I did not realise it would do that. So, and I've got plenty of them left because I ordered way too many. It's like the delusions of someone starting a business. So I have so many of these, so don't worry, they're not going anywhere. Yeah, it's got like a bit of like, I think people like it because it reminds them a little bit of the Ice Age movies, but also you just want to cuddle a baby mammoth. I love the baby mammoths. I'm waiting now. I think it's like early November I'm going to be getting this, is the PBS Eons and Beasts of the Mesozoic collaboration. I'm very excited. I ordered the baby mammoth. I would have ordered a bigger one, but my bank account was saying no, don't do that at the time. So I'm waiting for the baby one, which I've pre-named Yuba, after the poor little love, who was perfectly preserved. I also did a picture of her, but I'm kind of like, do I make a print of that? That looks really freaking sad. I'm not sure I'm gonna do that. I might put it in a zine, but I'm not gonna make it as a print. Personally, I wouldn't want to put it up on my wall. It's a dead baby mammoth, and that's like it represents and it depicts something very significant, like a significant find, but I don't know if people would want that pictured up on the wall as opposed to an alive and well mammoth that is a little bit scared. So Honk did very well. I think I have like a couple of these left, and they are non-numbered. They are signed but not numbered. They are like the excess of what the print company sends me. So there's nothing wrong with them, it's just that they're not numbered. So they're like free, I was gonna say free range prints. They're just like, who knows what number they are. It'll be 30 to 35, except I planned for 30 prints. I have a couple of these. Who knows, they might sell out, but I might bring it back. You never know. And then this one is a favourite with prehistoric stuff fans, like people who are very much into old paleo art. I attempted a 1-for-1 reconstruction of this famous Duria Antiquior piece, A More Ancient Dorset. I did my very best. I made it as gaudy as possible. Hopefully coming to an Etches collection shop near you. Huh? Maybe. So obviously I've put like a little frame around it because that's the vibe we're going for at the moment. I only have 30 of these and then a little bit of excess. But if these sell out, I probably will do a reprint because I quite like the piece. So that was one of my best sellers. Shall I show you my worst seller? I'll show you my worst selling celestial saw, shall I? Like, I don't know why I'm feeling so like vindicated by it, but when I told Jam this, she was like surprised as well, and then also felt a little bit smug about it. There's nothing wrong with the piece itself. You've already seen it by now, so I've shown you it a couple times. So the print that did not do the best out of like the Celestial Saw collection, was bum bum bah! The T-Rex. I don't think I've gone into detail about this series yet, because I'm planning on making a behind the scenes kind of zine of the process of making these pieces, because I tried to document them as best as I could when I was making them, because obviously you'll see a lot of things that I don't usually draw in terms of species, such as him, and this one. This one I think sold quite well as well, so that might be in my bestsellers list. And then we've also got Mr. Plessy. This one I don't feel like it turned out as vibrant as I wanted it to. What you doing, little boy? What's the time? Is it almost your dinner time? Is that why you've come here? Do you have anything to say? Okay. Not much to say. A bicky, a few words. So I think that I didn't have any left of, so I had one last one that was packaged, and Iguanodon did okay as well. But yeah, T-Rex barely made any waves, which we found quite amusing because obviously T-Rex is the king, but also the overrated king. And when you've got okay, all right, you've got a crowd of paleo fans, fans of all things dinosaurs. They want the obscure. They don't want the layman's dinosaurs. No, no, no. But the whole point of me starting this series was to start with a cohort of familiar faces. So this is the first wave of the first batch because I'm still editing. What have I got? I've got a Brontosaurus, I've got a Parasaurolophus, I've got a Velociraptor, I've got an Oviraptor, and I've got a Dimetrodon. So I've got 5. Oh, and a Pteranodon. How many have I done? I think it's like 13 now. But obviously I've not edited and finalized all of them. So this is the first section of the first wave to be rolled out, which is very exciting, and I think they got a good reception. This is the first time they've been in print form. I've had them in fabric form, and I've had them obviously one in sticker form and bookmark. So this was another bestseller. I did find a random one that I'd obviously not remembered to take with me when I got back, a pterosaur one. This is the only pencil case out of like 8 or something that I came back with, which is crazy to me because they have, I think, I don't even know if I sold any at Lyme Regis. I debuted them at Lyme Regis, but they all got snapped up. Something else that did extremely well were my scrunchies. I have had to make one to start replenishing my stock. I'll show you. Got my honks. So that's my original fabric, and then I got a cute gingham and a trim around the edge. I really like that trim. I love the texture of it. It's very good texture. So I've had to rebuild that stock up as well. And I make scrunchies with like a bow that is attached, and you can like arrange it on the back of your head. Those all sold as well. And I sold quite a few of these. This one I've had to make to replenish stock. So little purses. I show you this one because it's very cute. I really like the inside of it. So I've got my little label, and I've got a matching gingham. So you know, this is like a matching pair if you wanted. And then I sold quite a few purses. And I feel really silly. On the first day, I had my little picture of Bicky with his bandana on, and I made some of these slide-on bandanas, so they slide on the collar. Put them in quite carefully, but they're meant to like slot onto a collar of either a cat or a small dog. And I only managed to bring two, so like specifically these two fabrics, but I had more at home, and they both sold on the first day, and I felt so foolish for not bringing more. I also sold a lot of my box pouches as well, which I'm really glad because I was worried that no one liked them. I know it seems a bit silly now, but they really just didn't. They just did kind of nothing. I think a lot of it had to do with the presentation. Like I had them hanging up on the hook like this, but this time I had them displayed in like a little stack, a lovely little stack. I think as far as my products go, that was everything that did quite well, which was like a large range of my products. Like obviously not all the celestial swords I showed you just now did well. Like some definitely outperformed others, and a lot of people were really taken by the colours on the Stegosaurus, and I'm really pleased because that editing that motherfucker almost broke me. So I'm very grateful. Thank you so much. Before we get on to the haul of stuff that I collected, I will touch on a few things. So if you wanted to know what talks I attended, I only attended one because I just did not have a chance to, like, I could have, but like I wanted to be able to help Jam in case she got stuck on anything. And I didn't want to just leave her in charge of the stall the whole time, so I only disappeared for one talk, and it was the one on paleo art, pretty much almost at the very end. And then the other thing I wanted to mention, oh, so the one time I went up to the Peter Chalk building, I think it was either the beginner paleo art workshop was on, so there were a lot of people in the rooms doing that. I specifically went to find Dougal Dixon's republished new edition books of After Man and like other books because I am really obsessed with the publisher Breakdown Press. They're like a semi-small publisher, but I've loved their stuff for years. Slight detour. I'm going to show you. I'm not sure if I can actually show you much from this comic, because some of it is unsuitable for general audiences. This is safe. It's Window Pane by Joe Kessler. But like completely risograph printed. This is the thing, right? So there's a really cool section in the middle of it, but it's like it's very explicit. But like it's like sort of it's like an inner section to the book. Very cool. Other bits I can show you that kind of are okay. I don't know. You get the gist. Um, so yeah, that's the publisher. So I love pretty much anything they publish. I was really like surprised that they were doing something so adjacent to the stuff that I like. That isn't prehistoric stuff. I know. Crazy. I do have interests outside of this. Shocking. But then I am a former illustration student, so what can you expect? The other thing I wanted to mention, I've been working on stuff since coming back from Dinocon because I have not drawn properly, traditionally, with these in months, and it has been torturing me that I haven't been able to just find time to do that. So I'll show you my kakapo. This will be a mini print. I've already edited it because I'm trying to get on with things rapidly. And then I've fallen back into playing Tears of the Kingdom really recently. And I've been doing some fan art because I just rarely ever do fan art these days. And I wanted to fall headfirst back into it. I was gonna not to the Kingdom related, Silk Song related. I was gonna do this. I think I might draw it a bit smaller. I started the outlines and I was like not quite happy with the size of it. I'll show you like minimal Zelda stuff, so you might get the idea of like what I'm gonna do with it. I don't know. I mean, in the middle, I'll probably use the like the goddess statue, but I'm like, I just wanted to draw it. The pots, however, are like something I've been addicted to drawing. And like even when I can't find proper pictures online, I'm like going on the game specifically to seek out the pots so I can take pictures of them, send them to my phone, and draw them. I'm obsessed. So I have got a whole collection here that I'm not going to show you until I've finished the thing that I want to make. But it's weird because it's not the typical work that I do. It is a big interest of mine, like a strong interest. And if I wanted to make it into a zine, it's not like it's got a very niche audience. And then Nintendo are also very litigious. So I kind of have to do it on the sly. But then a lot of people sell fan art. It's so confusing. I don't know. Tell me your opinions below. Because I see so many videos of like fan expos and stuff now. And like anime cons. And like to see what gets slapped with a cease and desist versus what doesn't is a bit like a bit of a minefield. If you have any insight on it, please drop it in the comments. And also like specifically Nintendo stuff, if you see listings on Etsy that are of fan art, it's usually like hinting at what it is, but doesn't say exactly what it is. So it's like statue of a lady from famous game. I don't know. Like it's the workaround, isn't it? It's how people get past the copyright. But then it's like this is literally free promo for Nintendo, as if they need it. Don't sue me, Nintendo. I love you. Okay. I'm gonna come back to you after little bacon pie. I'm gonna come back to you after I've had dinner and I'll show you all of my haul. You're not gonna watch me have dinner though. That's for me. That's for my mouth only and my eyes only. Mwah. Editing Phoebe here. As you can see, this is already coming up to an hour, so I'm gonna do my Dinocon haul in the next video. So stay tuned for that. I've got an ASMR channel now. So I've done my Lyme Regis Fossil Fest haul and I show and tell, and then I've also read through Natural History Museum Guide, alright Vicky, of 1954, so that is what is on the channel already. But yeah, thank you for watching. Bye bye. Dinocon done.